We back, family. We back,
Back,
man.
we
Fans
back,
are
we
back.
back.
Well, I'm with the Prez right here. E Money, the Prez. What's up, Prez?
Yeah, nice to be back in the building. Wool
You
City,
know,
man.
I gotta keep
Podcast,
it funky. I
Yeah,
gotta keep it funky with my Bear fan. Look, Bear down. Ain't it
yeah.
wonderful right now to
It
be a
must be
Bear fan
wonderful,
right
man.
now? It's a
It
good
must
time
be
to be
wonderful.
alive to be a
Hey,
Bear
it must be wonderful, man, because right now our franchise is in turmoil. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We don't
Yeah.
went
And,
from
hey,
bad to
and
worse.
for I'm gonna get into the Miami because we gotta go where the trouble at first. Cause we
Yeah.
Bear fan, we bear down, But I'm gonna say this: we were there last year. We were there last year.
I don't think y'all got this bad.
No, we only got five. We ended up 5-11, so we got real bad. But we turned it around. You gonna ask me how we turned it around. I already know it's gonna be the bear talk, but we turned it around. But I'm gonna get into the crest where a lot of y'all fans are concerned, like with Tuna being benched. The question is, do Miami see Tuna as a future right now, or is over with?
It's a lot of questions into that though, because it's a lot of money on his head. So of
Yes.
course you have to find somebody that's willing to dive into that with you. And to me, um, I want to say the unsaid. To me, I think the only way the Miami Dolphins get rid of Tua is an
Mhm.
NBA type of trade. And it's got to
Okay.
be something that the NFL ain't seen before. Maybe involving a third or fourth team, maybe 5 or 6 players. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of deal it's going to take for Miami to swallow that type of money. But also moving forward, you
Mhm.
know, it depends on the approach that they take. They could take the
Okay.
approach of a new head coach coming in and starting to rebuild slow. They could
Okay.
take the approach of dumping everybody and starting all over at once. It just depends on the approach they take. But as far as Tua Tagovailoa, yeah, that money is on his head. So for right now, he's a Dolphin. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he's a Dolphin going into the season trying to move him at the deadline instead
Mm.
of trying to move him in the offseason. Because either way it goes, the Miami Dolphins gonna have to pay that money that's due to them in
Oh
March.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So the
yeah.
53, the 53 that he get in March, he's gonna get that from Miami. There's no reason for them to move off of him before that because they're gonna have to swallow it anyway. And there's nobody in the month of March, that
Yeah.
early in the offseason, that's gonna swallow that money for two.
And if
But
y'all cut him, y'all got a $99 million cap. Y'all got to
yeah,
cut
so
him.
so what
$99
happens
million
is
a lot to cut him.
so what happens is you go ahead and pay him in May, and and you try to move him before the end of the season, knowing that you can cut that money in half. You'll have 45 on the books for the next 2 years, and that's something you can move. It'll be a heavy cost to move, but you can move that. You know what I'm saying? 2 years at 40 a piece, you can move that. But for the Dolphins, the best
Right.
scenario for them is to find a trade partner, and try to finagle. Tyreek Hill is probably going to have to be a part of that deal
Yeah,
because
he got to
the
be a part
price
of
tag that he has on his head will also make it happen. Now, I will
that.
tell
Hey,
you, I will
but
tell you, they can move Tyreek. Now, listen to this. This is
yeah,
something that's unique, right?
okay,
They can move on from Tyreek, right? And the
yeah,
money that they move on from Tyreek will give them enough to swallow Tua on the back end. But the problem with that is you'll lose 2 players without replacing them.
fast. Oh, do you do this? Um, with the quarterback draft coming out this year, do you just trade Tudor to that team and try to just get a new quarterback?
Well, you got to dangle them out there and see who's got interest in them. I think the interest is going to be very small. I think it's a handful of teams that I think will be interested in it, and most of those teams will be those quarterback whisperer type of coaches. Like you might find an interest in LA with Sean McVay because Matthew Stafford is getting a little older. You might
Okay.
find an interest in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan. You know, he runs that same type of system. Tua behind Brock Purdy might be
Yeah.
something, and you know that might be an avenue that Miami can crawl behind because Matt
Mm,
Jones played a good year of football behind Brock Purdy. Trading Tua for Matt Jones and giving
right.
San Fran a pick could work for them, you know, and work for Tua. Being in that Kyle Shanahan system behind Purdy might help revive his career because at the end of the day, I've always been a Tua fan. You know me, but
Yeah.
I do admit that he's broken. I'm not going to
Yeah.
sit here and
I
say ain't
mean,
nothing
he
wrong
had
with
a
him.
lot of bad plays this year. Like
Yeah,
this
a
is a
lot of
bad
bad
year.
plays this year,
This is
but
a bad year for him.
but me being a football analyst, what I
Mhm.
see is what real football analysts and real football players see: a lack of confidence. He
Yeah.
doesn't feel comfortable doing what he's doing. What he's doing is forced. So, with that being said, a new scenery could revive that same player back again. Now, do
Yeah.
I think he's going to be an NFL caliber type of starting quarterback? No, and I think it's because it's because his limited mobility. You know, the quarterback position is a different position now.
But y'all been a problem. Weak
Yes,
arm
but
and not mobile.
but you know we designed an offense that caters to that. But
Fact.
now him moving destinations, now you'll see more of his skill set. But his limitations will also be the reason why he can't start in the NFL anymore. Because in
Ooh.
this NFL that we have now, just like how Steph Curry changed the game of basketball and
Yeah.
people
With
don't
the
want to
three
dunk
point.
anymore, they want to shoot. Well,
Yeah, everybody want to keep it free.
Lamar Jackson has changed the quarterback position. And now there's no longer a coverage sack. There's no longer my guys are all covered because
Right.
when that happens, that's a free lane for the quarterback to make a play.
Facts.
So if your quarterback can't take advantage of those situations, he's not a starting type of quarterback, caliber type of quarterback. And I don't think Tua Tagovailoa can take advantage of those situations with his legs.
Hey, the next question is Mike McDaniel. Do y'all bring him back, fire him, or y'all what you think? A lot of fans think this is he gonna be a fire, but
I
you
think
know,
I think the best course of action for Mike McDaniel is for the Dolphins to part ways with him, and I think the best course of action for the Miami Dolphins is to do it early. I think I think Mike McDaniel should be relieved of his duties the day after the season is over. I don't think it's I don't think it's a waiting game, and I don't think he should have to wait. And as for the Dolphins and the organization, I don't think they should teeter around with it. The reason I don't think Mike McDaniel deserves his job in Miami moving forward past the season is because the way this team is structured and
yeah,
the way he believes in football. If we rebuild this team around Mike McDaniel, we're gonna rebuild the same team that we're watching right now.
facts.
His football philosophy is getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly. One, two read offense. Get the
Yeah,
ball in the playmaker's hands. Let them make plays. That's great when everybody is not in tune to it.
right.
But now, 3 years into this offense, everybody in the
Everybody know what coming.
everybody in the NFL knows this offense. So what's your counterpunch? It's like a college player coming in the league, you know what I'm saying, in
Right.
the NBA. You know, okay, in college that little juke move work. In the in the NBA, that don't work. Now what you gonna do? You got to find another way to score. And Mike McDaniel hasn't found another page in his offense to counteract the too high safety shell. He hasn't
I
found
see.
another play in his offense to counteract that hard press
Yeah,
defense that he's doing.
because see, Mike McDaniel, right? I think it's this, right? He's a great play caller. I think he'd be a good offensive coordinator anywhere. But head coach, and this is I'm gonna give it to you funky. We gonna give it to you funky. I believe his ass need to go at the end of the year. Why?
Mhm.
Because first of all, you wanted Tuna. You advocated for him to get that damn money.
Yeah.
They was want slow pay. Like, we do you think you
Well,
can win
well,
with
I
a
think I
quarterback?
think he I when it comes to the money, I have to say this, man, and I have to just put this out here.
Mm-hmm.
The money is what the money is because that's what a starting quarterback gets paid. If anybody in the league right now signs a quarterback right now, they're gonna make that type of money,
But
right?
Elton, but
But but
Elton,
but here's the mistake, and the mistake is not on Tua, and the mistake is not on Mike McDaniel. The mistake is on the Dolphins organization because if you date back to that offseason, they fumbled the whole offseason trying to sign Tua to a deal. If
oh
they
yeah,
would have signed him
y'all got rid of the GM.
if they would have signed him to the deal when the quarterback market was at 40 million, we
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't even be having this conversation. But they let the markets creep all the way up to 50 million and then
Mm-hmm.
you sign him. So now you overpay for him. At $40 million, we're not even have this conversation because we feel like for $40 million to give you what it's worth.
But I'm just saying this, right? Mike McDaniel. One reason, this is the reason why I say get fired. Losing the locker room.
Yeah,
By
definitely.
benching Tony, you really lost the locker room, but
Yeah.
he did some more stuff before then that made him lose the locker room. And two, you advocated that I could win with Tuna. Because
Yeah.
you could have got from Tuna, but you believe that you could win with him, right? So guess what they
Mhm.
did? They went
Yeah.
to pay because guess what? He had the 50 option. Y'all could have they gave him a little, hey, we gonna franchise in 1 year and see how it play out. No, Mike McDaniel said I can win with him, and guess what they did?
They
They
paid.
listened to Mike. The GM got fired already for doing
Well,
that dumb
well,
shit.
the GM firing was long awaited, and the reason that the GM fire was long awaited is because true Dolphin fans, we date this back. We date this back all the way to some of these wild moves. We date this back to all of these players that we thought was ready to come to Miami that we didn't nail. We
Oh
talking
yeah,
about players like Dalvin Cook over there begging to come to Miami. Why he ain't come? You know what I'm saying? We talking about Lamar Jackson. Why we ain't even make a move at that? Deshaun Watson. Why we left that on the table? You know, we could go on and on. Najee Harris. What he was right there on the draft
yeah.
board for us. Why? You know what I'm saying? Devon A-Chain is a great player. His question to me is his durability. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And the reason his durability is a question mark to me is because Devon A-Chain is working up on a payday
Okay.
that's gonna pay him like a lead back.
Yeah.
And his durability in Miami has not been that great. His production in Miami has been
Be
outstanding.
excellent.
Outstanding. This kid with the ball in his hands is magical. But is he going to give you 17? Is he even going to give you 15? That's the question. Because if he's able to give you that 15, 17, yeah, he's a great back. But he's small, he's shifty,
Yeah.
he leans towards the outside of the hashes, you know. So and that's not knocking against him. I don't want anybody to think I'm knocking against him. You know, we
Yeah,
can
cause we can take y'all running back any day now.
yeah, and we could critique any player.
Chicago,
You
hey,
know,
hey, hey, we had A Train looking like Marshall Falk now.
yeah. And we can critique any player. Like Peyton Manning had a scouting report. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so you can critique any player. So I'm not taking nothing away from A-Chain. I'm just saying to at the same token, you know what I'm saying? All of this that the GM has done over the years is why
Yeah,
he's
it
no
got his
longer
ass
the
fired.
GM fired in my
But let me tell you this. Overall, before we
yeah,
wrap
this
it up in Miami, because I like where you said like you were saying that Mike McDaniel, his time is up.
yeah, it's time to you
It's
know,
games he bad play calling that you know personally.
Yeah, and you know, and that
Especially that game y'all lost with 45 seconds. Yeah, that was.
yeah,
You know what?
the Chargers game.
You know why
I
I
don't
give
know
Mike
how he
McDaniel this
survived.
problem.
I don't know how he survived the Chargers game. You know, that was horrible. That was
Hold on.
horrible coaching.
Can you answer this? See, this is why he need to get fired too. I forgot to add that. You got Anthony Reaver right there messing everything up on defense. His ass probably been fired 3 games ago.
Yes,
When the GM
yes.
came to go, you supposed to be advocate, hey, I can't win with him. He the problem. Mike McDaniel's supposed to be like, hey, he the problem.
Well, also too, you know, we brought in Vic Fangio, and you let Jalen Ramsey run him out of town. You didn't advocate to keep Vic Fangio. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Obviously, I think you was intimidated by Vic Fangio because of his experience. You know what
right.
I'm saying? But here's the thing: at the end of the day, I don't. I think Mike McDaniel skipped a step. You know, there's a
Mm,
step in the process. You have to be that coordinator, and you
right,
can't just go from a scheme guy to a head coach. And the steps that you miss are apparent right now. You don't know how to be a leader of men. You may be able to call
Woo.
football plays, but
Yes,
but
sir.
but you have to be a leader of men. And what I
I
mean
think.
is accountability.
Mhm,
It's like, you know, Miami is a tough place to
yeah,
coach. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say, because you know I don't want to burn up the whole, because you know we
yeah,
got to talk about
yeah,
the Bears.
yeah, yeah.
The Bears
Yeah. Well,
is
I
doing
like where
the
you
thing.
going. Come on, I want to finish
But
this.
but you know you have to be a leader, man. It's like with Flores. Miami is a tough place to play, in a tough place to coach. It's a lot of distractions in Miami, right? And and when Flores first came to Miami, one I never forget this. One of their biggest critiques is Flores had a wall. If you
Right,
messed up in practice, you had to go run, sprint to the wall, and come back. When the
right,
players first started playing in Miami, they complained about it.
right.
Oh, Flores make us. But this is the problem. You have to have some kind of discipline to be leader of men. Account,
Fact.
you know, accountability is the first step of success. If you're not holding them accountable, then it's okay. Then they're not going to be successful. What the Dolphins look like right now is when somebody jumps off sides, it just looks like they line up in practice and run the play again.
Hell no.
Because you will see the Dolphins jump off sides, and it's like nobody cares.
Right. Oh shit.
Line it up and run
How
it
about
again.
bad? But yeah. That was bad.
Yeah.
You know
So
what? You
so
probably
yeah,
is right because look.
The Mike McDaniel experience is over. The Tua
Yeah.
Tagovailoa experience is over. And my advice to the Miami Dolphins as I close on the Dolphins, my advice to them is to be patient. If you be patient, you might strike gold.
And
If
wrap it
you
up. And
yeah.
wrap it up. I did from the outside looking in. Y'all need to blow it up. You know what I'm saying? Look, fire Mike McDaniel, cut Tuna, take that 99 million dollar cap. Look, then you cut Tyree Hill, and you got to cut Nick Chubb, and that would even out that $90. Y'all that start from and take a little under the cap. You still gonna have a little cap hit, but it won't be that bad. And y'all that start from square one. That's my.
I tell
I
you
tear
something.
the whole house down.
I tell you something that sounds funny, but it would actually work. If Miami Dolphins replaced every one of their stars, everyone that you guys consider to be a superstar that's underachieving, because all your superstars are underachieving, right? I love Jalen Waddle. He's too small. You know what I'm saying? He's not winning the 50-50 ball. And he's not going to get separation on these young corners that's coming in the league at 6'2, 6'3, 6'4. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But I love him. He's a great player. He has great speed, but you're a slot receiver. You used to be a good two, but right now you're leaning towards a slot receiver. But if Miami Dolphins took each one of these stars, Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Darren Waller, A Chain, on defense, Bradley Chubb,
Yeah, you
Mika,
got to cut Chubb.
yeah. If they replaced all of those stars with better stars, we would be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah,
On to, you know.
because the role players are what they are. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? The role players are where they are. I don't think the Miami Dolphins need more role players. I think they need better stars.
I think so that they better start, a better coach. But
Yeah.
on to great Bears. But yeah,
Yeah.
um,
How's it feel to be on top, man, and look down at everybody?
hey man, it feel good. It took a process because, like I said, coaching. Like we were where y'all was last year. Y'all saw we were 5-11, and we 11-4. We damn near reverse and stuff. But we took steps. Like Ryan Poe, our GM, he got the offensive lines and kept together. And you see the difference now.
Yeah.
Caleb only got sacked 23 times now. Last year
Yeah.
he's at 68. Right now, it's 68.
Tooney,
Sack.
Tooney
So
was a steal in the offseason. Tooney
yeah.
was a steal in the offseason.
Yeah, he made a Pro Bowl again like he usually do.
Yeah, but his play on Sundays make a difference.
Yeah. We revamped the offensive line. That's where
Yeah.
we started at. It took steps, like Ben, like y'all need a coach because Ben is a leader of man. He hold people accountable. He hard as hell's on Caleb. Caleb
Yeah.
barely get game balls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? He hard on Caleb. Caleb got to really earn it. I don't even think he only got one game ball this year. He had to earn that. And I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he hold his foot to the fire. He do
Yeah.
not let Caleb Williams be soft.
Yeah. Well, you're not gonna win that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
hold our quarterback to the fire because look, Caleb, and I like the way he developed. He's getting there now. He's getting the offense. Like in year 2 or 3, I think Caleb gonna be real dangerous. 2 or 3 years with Ben, he gonna be a problem.
Okay, so let me dive into this. Let me ask you this about the Bears because I like what y'all doing. I think y'all having a great season. That defense is playing outstanding. And right now, we're going into the playoffs. And we all know as football fans going into the playoffs, you got to bring
Uh-huh.
your running game and your defense. Now your defense ready. They packed.
Mm-hmm.
How are we gonna get this running game going in the way
Hey,
that we need to go?
hey,
Because they moving the ball, but it's not at a rate where we still relying on Caleb Williams to win football games.
hey. I say like this. Our running game is being ruthless in the NFL. We've been in the top 5 in rushing. So
Mm-hmm.
our running game is doing what it's doing. My problem is this. Caleb is being clutch, but we like to clutch Caleb. We just want him to be a little more effective the first 1 through 3. His fourth quarter, that clutch gene, he got it. I'm seeing it build look like he got a clutch gene. But you can't win every game like that in the NFL in the fourth quarter. 1 through the third quarter count,
Yeah.
and that's what Caleb got to improve. And when he
Well,
proves that, he's gonna be a real problem.
that's why I think the lack in the running game is. It's really not protecting the lead is something that's very important, especially at this time of year. You know what I'm saying? And when you get in the playoffs and you jump up 14, 21 points for somebody, you got to put them to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And that running game hasn't been really protecting that lead like it's supposed to. And
Yeah,
then you get the late game heroics from Caleb Williams, which those type of things you really don't want. So my
yeah.
next question to you about them Bears is
Mm-hmm.
how far do you really realistically think they can go?
Every Bear fan gonna say Super Bowl, Super
Mm,
Bowl, Super Bowl bound, and that's the dream to be the Super Bowl. But realistically, I think we get to that championship game, the
yeah,
NFC championship game, and it'd be like a Jaden Daniel. We probably lose right there. That's what I think because two teams that scared me, Seattle and the Rams, and because they got defense, but the offense can move.
yeah,
And
yeah.
this our problem with our defense
San Fran
is
is scary to me.
our D line. We don't rush. We don't get no rush on the quarterback. That's our problem. We all right with the run. Our defense like this. We bend, but we don't break.
Woo, the
We bend
secondary,
like a mug. I ain't gonna
that
lie, but we don't break.
that secondary that y'all got in Chicago, boy, listen, them boys are dogs. They
Yeah.
are dogs. They are ball hawks.
Yeah. I'm talking about real dogs.
Real ball hogs. They are looking to
Yeah.
make a play. They are not looking to break up the pass. They are looking for a turnover.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson out there. I'm mad at Sean White. He got the lead in interception right now. He didn't make the Pro Bowl. I'm kind of mad at that, but it is what it is. And
But
I'm
but I
mad
like
at
but I
Donnell
like
White,
the way they
our
play.
right tackle.
I
They
like
make
the
the
way
Pro
that
Bowl, but
unit played, though. You know, they really get after it, and they really looking for to make a play. And,
yeah,
and and for a team like the Bears, that's great because it takes pressure off of their young quarterback and Caleb. You know, when the defense starts turning over and gets everybody going, because ain't nothing like a turnover on defense.
yeah. And I'm before we really wrap it up, I'm gonna say that because we at top right now, and right now we trying to get the number one seed. But the smart thing would be okay. We beat San Francisco. I say the Detroit game don't matter. They already out the probably we sit everybody down and we sit with the number two seed. That's my. I mean, the number one would be good to get it back, but we would have to battle Detroit, and we need to get healthy. So we're not healthy. That's the problem. That's why I say we might not get to that Super Bowl either. We can. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Bear fan. We can get that Super Bowl. Anything possible on any given Sunday. But our injury, no, we need to get healthy that last game and sit our starter.
Yeah,
Only if we beat the 49ers.
I think you should beat the 49ers and go ahead and capture the one seed. I think you'll get the break on the first week of the bye. But I think the one seed is important to Chicago for this and this one reason on everything. Because you're worse the first team. And because you're NFC North team, I would definitely, without a doubt, have no problems with bringing any one of those dome teams to Chicago.
Oh yeah, not cold. Yeah, it's cold.
The Rams
So
play in
yeah,
the dome. Seattle, they don't play in the dome, but
right.
I would definitely don't want to play them in the 12. I definitely want them on the road. I'll pray for snow and let them handle the elements of Chicago as the number one seed.
Oh yeah. See,
I definitely won't want to be on the road in the two seed, going on the road to see a team like Seattle, and that stadium is rocking. You
yeah,
can't even
and
audible in there.
I say this. I say I want the health, but we get that number one seed going in Chicago in that cold weather.
Everybody sleep
That's
different.
our way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
We get that
everybody
number
sleep
one
different
seed,
with that number one seed. They gonna
we
sleep.
might
They
go to
gonna
the bowl.
sleep good.
I ain't gonna lie. We get to that number one seed. We probably Super Bowl bound
Yeah,
because we
if
got
you
to
make
come in that
everybody
cold
have
weather.
to come, if everybody have to jump on the road and come to Chicago, it's cold out there, man.
Yeah,
It's cold out there, man.
yeah, it's cold out there, man. Hey, E Money.
Yeah,
Like I said, we bet down, man, and like next week we gonna see where the Bears at. We gonna see where Miami at. Hey, we had a good talk, and we gonna do this again.
yeah, and we're gonna see how the season progress for the Dolphins and see how far the Bears can go in this playoff run. Like you said, the NFC Championship game. I'm thinking you guys can. I'm thinking you guys can win your first game, which if you win the division would be that divisional round game. And honestly, I think after that you probably run out of gas. But who knows? The NFC is wide open. It's teams like Philadelphia that we haven't even
Oh
discussed
yeah,
that are finding ways to win. So they're a threat because nobody likes a team that pulls it out of the hat at the end of the game.
but
But
Philly, I think Philly, they really don't got it together yet because they just luckily they're playing the bottom, the weak team right now. I still
yeah,
think. they gonna fall off. And
Yeah,
two,
but it just takes a couple of plays, and Philly built for this. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Adams, and they are AJ Brown. They can tell us all they riffing, they being all mad at everything. But when that bunion is on the line, and it's time to go eat, and they got a chance at another ring, they can all show up and run the day.
And I think this, right? We get that number one seed. That's our way to the Super Bowl. And two, I think like right now we got the right coach, the discipline to get there. It's just how far Caleb take us. Cause Caleb, like I said, no problem. He been playing good. Like he didn't make the Pro Bowl. I was kind of like, yeah, I want my quarterback to make it, but I wasn't that mad. I was more mad that the White ain't making, man.
Yeah,
Darnell White,
yeah,
right tackle ain't making. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
He's having a great year too.
yeah. So like them two, man, I was kind of mad. But we have Bird made it out of secretary, Kevin Bird, Dorman and Joe Tooney. You know what I'm saying? I said Dorman and Joe Tooney. Two Pro Bowls already been there, so
Yeah,
it wasn't nothing major. But Darnell should have made it, man. Darnell White, right tackle,
yeah.
he been a beast.
He been beasting it. He been holding it down. He been holding down that backside of Caleb Williams too. But we're gonna see how far the Bears go, because you got some big matchups to end the season. This one Sunday against San Fran is gonna say a lot about.
And that's one of the team I said I'm scared of. The
Yeah,
49ers. I don't know how they do it, but they like us. Like we've been injured too and been making it, but 49ers been injured too and been making it work. So
yeah. Cal Shanahan's a hell of a coach, and we all know that.
and that's the problem in Miami. Y'all coach it. I don't want to get back to Miami too much, but if y'all get a new voice,
Could be
that's
the
like
difference.
y'all got to get somebody that can correct the ship, like how Ben Johnson did. Look, we were following Ben Johnson correct this ship.
Hey, you know who our guy can really be, but it might piss the rest of the NFL off? John Gruden.
You know what? That would be the perfect coach to fix y'all mess. I'm not trying to joke about it. If y'all bring John Group,
But
man,
it,
he
it,
would
it'll
fix
make
them
all
mess.
it'll make 32 owners pissed off at Stephen Ross for hiring John Gruden again.
Mm-hmm. But he can fix that mess.
But y'all all know what it is. Y'all make sure y'all hit that button in the
Yeah,
bottom
man.
right there and
Man,
subscribe. Make sure you hit that other
we
button and
listen.
make sure you like, and then make sure you hit that other button and share it with one of your
Yeah,
homies.
share, hit
You
the
know what I'm
follow and
saying?
like. You know what I'm saying? That man fan we hear every week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Week out
mad
week,
fan,
man fan. You know what I'm
mad
saying?
fan,
Bear fan, bear down.
mad fan.
Hey,
Y'all know
you
what it
know,
is. It's the president. It's the president. Wolf City, Mad
yeah,
Fans Podcast. Y'all know how to catch us.
you know what y'all do. You know, hey, we out of here. Hey, stay humble. Let God be with you. Peace. Thanks for watching.
Mad fans, mad
Man,
fans.
fan. Yes, sir.